We have our leaf outline right here, and to start with this, I have 3 strands of green floss, and near the tip of the leaf, not quite at the edge, I am going to make one stitch that I refer to as the anchor stitch. And once that's secure, I'm going to bring my needle up at the very tip of the leaf, right on the outside of the template. And I'm going to wrap my thread beneath this anchor stitch without bringing my needle back down through the fabric. Then I bring my thread the opposite direction and I pull on it to make sure it's tight. And when you bring it back up, stitch on the same side that you pulled the thread through. That way it twists over itself on this first part. So we have, this is where I came up, I tucked it under the anchor stitch and went back around over the top. Now the next time I come up, making sure I'm on the outside of the template, coming up right next to that center line, but on the opposite side of where I just brought my needle through. Then I bring my needle down, crossing over the middle. And this first one feels kind of weird, like you may have kind of lost some of that detail. But as soon as you add in the next stitch on the opposite side, then it fixes it. Now for the rest of this shape, I am going to just repeat this where I'm going on opposite sides and crossing my threads over each other. So this really is just a series of straight stitches that you do going down, but the way you alternate it makes it look like a real leaf, the way it's crossed. And as you're stitching, you'll notice that these lines on the outside disappear. They're covered up. That also makes the leaf feel kind of puffier. So when there's multiple layers of thread, it's going to stand off of the fabric a little bit more. And when you get down towards the base here, you start to run out of room at the edge of the leaf. So when you're crossing these over, you aren't going to be bringing them down quite as far. And that's when we stop worrying about crossing them and we just start stacking the stitches. So I still alternate directions or alternate sides that I'm stitching on. But now we're mostly just worried about covering up that line of stitches that we left before. So I'm making these shorter so that they match the rounder shape. Now that this inside has come all the way together, I am not stitching crossing over the edge. I am stitching just next to it. And there's our leaf stitch.